Howdy, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be creating a 4th of July card. We're going to be using this patterned paper along with some candy apple red and French vanilla cardstock. We'll also be using this die cut to help us create our box card. We also will be using this stamp set from Trinity Stamps. It's called Lady Liberty. In addition, we'll also use these stars to help us create a starry background in our box card. And to pop some of those stars up, we're going to use some transparency film. Okay, let's begin. So we cut that pattern paper down to 4 by 6. That'll fit perfectly for creating our sections of our box. We'll need 4 sections, and this strip will help us create the inside portion of our card where our stars and our Lady Liberty will be hanging out. Now that we've got these pieces cut out, we can start attaching glue and creasing our card. I like to use a Teflon bone folder along with tear tape. You can find a similar die to this box card die that I used on the Dies R Us website. Right now we're scoring, so it'll be easier to create the box. So now that we have 2 portions of our box cut, we can start attaching them using the tear tape. A great trick I have found to making sure that your corners are even is to use a stamping platform. See, that makes it nice and even. So it'll be flat for us. Now we just have to finish folding in those creases for these other 2 sides of our box card. So back to the inner pieces that we cut out. You can also attach tear tape to them, and now we've just got to finish making this into a box. Then we can attach the inside pieces. These are the pieces that are going to hold on to our Lady Liberty and our stars. And for this, you can just fold these 2 pieces down. Now we've got this cute little beginnings of our box card. All we have to do now is stick our inside pieces in there. And then we just need to die cut our stars and stamp and die cut our Lady Liberty. We'll also need to color her, and then we'll have to figure out where we're going to put our sentiment and which sentiment we're going to use. But for now, let's just put adhesive on our little inside pieces. Again, we're going to use the tear tape. Now that we've got our inside pieces taped, I'm not going to attach the inside pieces to the box just yet because I want to cut out the stars first and figure out how I want to place them in the card, because that might change how I place the inside pieces. The nice thing about a cookie cutter die set is that you'll get varying sizes of the same thing. In this case, it's stars, so we can have some large stars or some smaller stars. Now, I do want to make sure that the stars are not too big for the box card itself, because I can't change the size of the box card. We're just going to take our washi tape and keep our stars where we want them by placing the washi tape on top of the die cuts. To be more efficient with our time, we're going to cut the red and the off-white cardstock together. Just one final thing, we're going to stamp our Lady Liberty and color her, then we're going to die cut her. Again, we're going to use our stamping platform. We can also pick out our sentiment stamp. There are some great ones here in this stamp set. There's Let Freedom Ring, Land That I Love, and 4th of July. I think we're gonna go with 4th of July because I have a happy word die cut that we can use to help make our card a little bit more special. And I like to use intense black ink because it's alcohol marker safe. I like to use my microfiber cloth to help me smooth out the ink when I'm stamping. A stamping platform is great because it helps you to stamp clearly without having to worry about moving back into the right spot. Now that our Lady Liberty is done, we will color her with some alcohol markers, but for right now we're going to stamp the sentiment. To make sure that I don't pick up any extra colors while I'm coloring, I like to use some printer paper on the behind my image. Our Lady Liberty is going to be a very simple coloring job because the real Statue of Liberty is a statue and therefore only one color with light and dark shadows. So we're going to use one of these markers, the 180, to create the color of our Lady Liberty, and we're going to use 57 as our shadow. These are Ohuhu art markers. We're using the fine nib of our marker to color as opposed to the broad nib because we're going to use a die cut and there will probably be some white space surrounding Lady Liberty. If you were fussy cutting, I would probably go with the broad end of the brush. Now, although Dies R Us doesn't have a Lady Liberty stamp, there is a Lady Liberty die cut that I will include in both the blog post and in the description box below this video. Now that we've colored her with our 180, we can go in with our 57 and put in our shadows. Now that you've put in her shadows, what you can do is go back over with the 180 to smooth that coloring out. And we will also go over it with a 0 marker. I have the 200 set of Ohuhu markers, so I don't know if the other marker sets come with a 0, but the 200 does. And like I said, leaving some white space around. I think we'll be able to notice it more once it's completely die cut, but that's why we tried to erase some of those areas. So we're going to use this fishtail die cut for our sentiment. Now I know it's a little long, but we can just cut it. As far as our happy, for our sentiment, happy 4th of July, we're going to use this die cut. And some black cardstock that's already got adhesive on the back. Doesn't our Lady Liberty look so cute? And there's our 4th of July, and there's our happy. We're going to do it like that. And we're going to cut another happy out of cardstock, but this time it's not going to have any adhesive on the back. Because this cardstock matches with this cardstock, it'll look good when we put the word happy with it. Now for this portion of the fishtail, we're just going to clip it right here. You can use scissors for that. So we're going to take our snips and do that. Now it may not be perfectly straight, but we're going to try. The rest of the paper through the die cut piece. Then we can pull the backer off of the adhesive paper, and then we can place it where we want to on our, next to our die cut that says 4th of July. So it'll say Happy 4th of July. And then we can take this piece that doesn't have any adhesive on it and put it behind the word happy. That way the back all looks smooth because it's the same color. And the front can say Happy 4th of July. Now we bring back our box card, the box part of our card, because it's not quite finished. And the inside pieces, along with the stars and the Lady Liberty that we die cut. And then we can figure out how we want this placed in the box. Both when it's open and when it's folded, because we want this to be able to be mailed. Also, now we can bring out our transparency film, because that's going to be what holds up our pieces if they're not attached directly onto the inside piece, but rather floating. You can also use packaging, like clear packaging, to do this, but I have the transparency film, so that's what I'm going to use. So this is what our box card looks like from the side, and when it's open, this would be down, but it's not decorated yet. So that's what we're going to work on right now. Putting in our little embellishment paper pieces to make this card nicer. We're going to cut 3 by 3/4 piece for our transparency film to hold up our sentiment that says Happy 4th of July. And we're going to use some liquid glass to hold that in place. So I want it to say Happy 4th of July on the inside. But I want that to be popped up just a little. So the next thing we do is we attach that to the inside piece. If you want to erase any parts that have glue, you can always use one of these glue erasers. So we're going to go back to our tear tape and put tear tape on the back of this portion. We just didn't do it for the back of here because I wanted to be sure that it adhered well for the sentiment strip. Now, to put this in the card, we just take the tear tape off of the inside pieces. And you can actually fold your card back down to where it's smooth, to where you would it would actually be the portion that you would mail, and stick it on there that way. That way it's smooth. And then when you open it, it fits just so. So that's sort of that. I think we put our sentiment in the wrong section. We're going to want that to be in the front. That way our Lady Liberty can go up there. So we're going to want her to be a little taller than the word Happy 4th of July. I think that looks really lovely. So I hope you guys stay safe, stay healthy, stay crafty. Remember that I will be providing links to where you can get these items or similar items, both on my blog and in the description box below this video. Please click the like button if you like what you saw. If you'd like to see future videos from me, click that subscribe button. And I always love to hear comments. So, bye.